Welcome to Colonize the Ocean podcast, where we discuss oceanic colonization, exploration, and education with your hosts Adam Jewell and Brendan Traxler.
We talk a lot about underwater habitat design, the benefits of underwater habitats, the future of them, the past, all aspects of it around here. Anybody that's been listening to this more than like 2 or 3 podcasts have got that much figured out. But one thing we don't talk a lot about, I mean, it comes up in conversation from time to time, is the whole aspect of, even up to today, how do you get to the underwater habitat? And that's through scuba diving. And so I want to take a few minutes here and just talk about why people scuba dive. There's 2 different lines of thought around there. Are you doing it for the sake of thrill seeking, or are you doing it for the sake of the serenity and the peacefulness of it? And it really boils down to your personality types, and to what you're into, because the whole idea of scuba is considered an extreme sport to some. You crave that dopamine rush or that thrill seeking, and there is a segment out there that's why they do that. That's why they do cave diving or diving with sharks, shipwrecks. These areas that could be a little bit more dangerous than just your regular, offshore, off a boat or whatever like that. Swimming out there. And so if that's you, cool. I think it's, why people, jump out of planes and stuff like that. I would never do that. The idea of falling terrifies me. At the same time, anybody that's been certified scuba diver, they fill you up with all the fears about how your lungs can burst and all these different ways you can die underwater. So not to say that scuba diving is a completely sane or even safe sport, but I think that relatively speaking, it's a fairly safe endeavor. But then the other side of the coin is, a lot of people are out there and they're scuba diving for the whole sake of the serenity, the peacefulness. And that's what I enjoy about it, because there is something to be said about being out there in the calm underwater. You don't have all the hubbub, the sounds, the noises coming around you from the world. There is like a blanket wrapped around you of this water, and you're just to yourself. Some people, it's always recommended to have a dive buddy. Some people don't, but that's not recommended. Some people enjoy diving as groups. Some people just enjoy diving with their one buddy. Again, it depends on if you're more introverted or extroverted, but there's a sense of camaraderie there as well, in sharing an event like this as well. So that's where you get these 2 different focuses, I guess you could say, as far as people who enjoy scuba diving. And it all really boils down to, what do you like? And so I guess really that ends up being the question for this week is, even though this is a really short one, I intend to be, is why do you scuba dive? What is it about scuba diving that you enjoy, and what got you into scuba diving? For me, I'll tell you real quick, it's something I always wanted to do ever since I was a little kid, was scuba dive. I didn't get certified until I was 20 or 21, something like that, somewhere around there. So it was like a lifelong thing that I wanted to do, and it just always ended up not being feasible, either because didn't have the money or was it in a really location that it was great. But I didn't know what it was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I didn't know what I was getting into until I actually slipped under the water for the first time, and not even in the pool. The pool, it was fun. But I mean, I hold my breath all the time and go underwater, snorkel and stuff like that. It was a little different. But when I actually got out in a body of water and got underwater for the first time, that's why I understood. I mean, it was an utter sense of peace for me. It wasn't a thrill-seeking thing. I was terrified to an extent because of all this fear that they put in me about, possibly being able to dive. So I was a little heightened. But at one point, I was able to just let it all sort of slip past lay there looking up at the surface and just feel utter peace and calm. And it was one of the best feelings I've ever had in my whole entire life. So I hope that I'm not the only person that gets that from that. I don't think I am. But there are those out there that are in it for the extreme sport aspect and pushing the boundaries, pushing what humans are able to do, or pushing themselves to a new limit they haven't experienced yet. Hey, to each their own. As long as you're doing it safe, you're out there, and we're expanding the scuba community and telling other people about how amazing the underwater world is. I think that's all that really matters at the end of the day. But again, why do you do it? I'd be curious to know.